And welcome back to another episode of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Oh yeah, we found out that the criminals who shot Herlock were criminals. Good hours spent. Oh, did I stop in the middle of a sentence? Sorry. I'm sure I won't spoil the banquet to do so, my lord. Yep, definitely know what he was talking about. What were we talking about? I've won myself another chance to probe the pair about their activities that night at least. And I won't stop probing them until I've proven that Gina is innocent. Oh yeah, the pictures! Oh, I just whistled, sorry. To be continued! Wow, go me. I could have held on 3 seconds more, huh? Ryunosuke, you're gonna have back problems.
Order, please. Let us resume proceedings. Witnesses, you will now retake the stand.
Good.
I presume you heard the defense counsel's summation examination.
Yeah, Governor. I did, Gov, I did.
Mr. and Mr. Skulkin.
God, blimey.
Well, this is going to be hard work. Earlier in this trial, you gave the following testimony about your actions after you entered Windibanks.
Well, it was bedlam soon as, weren't it? It was, Nash, it was. Didn't even have time to pull me dukes out of me lucid lockets.
However, that was a lie. You brothers.
Cool, blimey.
On the night in question, you rifled through the items on the victim's counter.
We never did nothing of the sort. How'd you figure that out?
Through Photoshop, which they don't have back then. When I put the two pictures together for the thumbnail, I figured out what exactly didn't match up, so I know what doesn't match up.
You will now give formal testimony once again. You will tell the court precisely what happened on the night in question. And this time, you will tell the truth.
Each lie that passes your lips serves to increase the severity of your punishment. And that, gentlemen, may deal a crushing blow to your chances of ever seeing the light of day again. A thought worth pondering, perhaps. So no more, Gov. We'll blab, we'll speak, we'll peach.
Yeah, you shot Herlock. I'm putting you away in jail for good. The whole truth.
Alright, we did knock a few things over, but we weren't rifling for nothing. It was when we heard the gunshots, see? Made us both jump and all that stuff went flying. Lummy, it didn't give me a fright. We was thinking the shooter had come through the door and get us next. We stuck everything back where we found it and scarpered straight into him in the black. We couldn't have shot the pawnbroker, see? We never had a chance, did we?
They sure are skipping over the fact that they shot Herlock.
So you admit to the defense's accusation. You did indeed ransack Mr. Windibank's countertop in the night in question.
Oh, not ransack, Governor, no. Well, that's right, Nash, that's right. It's more like we tied it up, yeah.
Even as he's like, what the fuck? Heck, sorry.
Look, sorry. By their own admission, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery under dubious circumstances. However, they panicked and fled upon hearing the gunshot, having first made good their mess. The way you say it, we don't sound like roughs at all. We don't, Nash, we don't. Can it make us sound a bit more cutthroat?
I mean, it can't just be coincidence that these men showed up at Windibanks last night. There's more to their testimony than meets the eye. I'm sure of it. Alright, let's press you guys and... not impress, just regular press.
Hold it!
I don't need to impress you. Well, if that's the case, then why didn't you testify to that effect in the first place?
Well, you know, we ain't exactly squeaky clean, are we? We ain't, Nash, we ain't. If we admitted to something like that, people would think we was up to no good. Well said, Ringo Neo China. We'd only land ourselves in even more trouble.
And in fact, now as a result of lying in your previous testimony, That's exactly what you've done. Land yourselves in even more trouble.
That's rotten luck.
This is the rotten apple eater.
Witnesses, explain your actions to the court. Why'd you ransack the victim's counter?
We never ransacked nothing.
Right, Nash, right. We more like tied the place up.
Look, he's a jerk, but I really like that, you know. I like this angry face he makes.
Sorry.
Hold it!
So what you're saying is, the sound of the gunshot shocked you so much you knocked all those things off the counter? And how'd you know exactly which way they went back together, huh? Huh?
Well, it shocked one of us that much, yeah? This bag all nerves, he learned to keep his shirt on. Look, it was loud, alright. Blimey, me dig granted would have woken up with that bang. Big brother screamed like a bloomin' baby and fell over the counter. He knocked over a little books, a candlestick, and some skull whatnot. I got tangled up in some merry now. We went knocked over the picture frame, we knocked over them scales on the floor.
Oh, you've really mastered working quietly then.
What a racket! Me granny would have been scared back into her grave with a clatter like that.
So, in short, the gunshot took you by surprise?
And then some. I mean, it was quiet as a mouse, and then all of a sudden, bam!
Whoa, hold on. No, I wanna go back! No, I missed it! Damn it. Oh wait, no, does it let me?
Excuse me.
Inspector Gregson, do you have something to add?
Like I keep saying, I don't appreciate being lumped in with these scoundrels.
No, something to add about their testimony. You seemed to react just now of what Mr. Skulkin said. Did it make you think of something?
It's probably nothing, of course. I wouldn't even bother to mention it, only... Well, the fact is, cases don't get solved if you ignore the little details.
Well, just tell us what's on your mind.
As you know, we brought these fellows in the yard for a questioning last night. And the statement they gave told a slightly different story to what they're saying now. Well, did it? You claimed you heard the victim shout something out before the gunshot. Might have, Gov, might have. Does ring a bell now you mention it. Granted, it's only a minor detail, but still. I can't help feeling like perhaps you've been a bit sloppy with your testimony here, eh, fellas?
If I discover the witness's testimony has been any more sloppy than it is hitherto proven to be, I shall be forced to bring the very harshest punishment to bear against them.
Easy. We'll get it right this time. Yeah, that's it. Yep, it's all coming back to me now. Then speak. Supplement your testimony with whatever details have miraculously returned to your questionable minds, sirs. Alright, you are, Gov. Okay, so just before the gunshot, we heard a voice yelling out, "Give me that gun."
Hold it!
So, in fact, you heard the voice and the gunshot almost simultaneously?
We did, bruv. We did, Gov. We did. Although, I suppose if you're being honest, we heard a kind of wavering voice before the yelling, huh? If you don't want to get shot, give me that gun. Bam. That kind of thing.
A career in acting tragically missed. And where were the voices coming from? Could you tell?
Of course it could. From the other side of that door up in the counter it was.
From the storm where the victim was found dead?
And the voice you heard, it was that of the victim, Mr. Windibank. Oh, my granny's life, of course it was. On his granny's life, of course it was.
So, that would mean that you both knew Mr. Windibank and the sound of his voice?
Eh? So that would mean what? What, Nash, what? Any ideas?
Yes, counsel, indeed it would.
No, we didn't know the geezer. I'm not supposed to deny it when the books...
Okay, words. How am I supposed to deny it when that bloke and all the fancy clobber's giving us the evil eye?
If you value your lives, you will ensure your testimony is accurate and true.
On me Gray's life it is. On his Grady's life it must be. That's a good job, his Grady's dead.
To summarize then, immediately after hearing the voice of the victim, you hear the gunshot, causing you to stumble and upset the items on the counter, scattering them over the shop floor.
It'll make it sound like we're clumsy. Don't forget, we tied up after like good little boys. Anyway, the way I see it.
Hold it!
You're saying that Mr. Winnebank had a gun in his hands?
Oh yeah, I bet it was a slide, eh? Them two waving them guns at each other must have gotten pretty heated. I mean, just before I shout out, we heard the geezer say, if you don't want to get shot. Didn't really sound like a man in mind, more of an empty threat, you could say.
Mr. Winnebank has been known to keep a revolver on his shop counter at all times. People say that to protect the articles in his keeping, he'd readily put a bullet in someone's head if required. That someone being himself, of course.
Good grief. Extraordinary devotion, indeed, if alarmingly misguided.
Oh, well, he certainly sounded like he was ready to pull the trigger that night.
Only the person he was gonna shoot beat him to it. Hooked his goose proper.
Bet I wish he'd squeeze the trigger so wasting time shouting, give me that gun.
But there was only one gun in the area, not two.
And it was directly after those words that you heard the gunshot?
It was more or less the same time, Gov. Give me that gun. Bam. Kind of thing.
Well, yeah, her enacting's very tragically missed.
They made the sound of someone hitting the deck. Before everything went dead. After that, we done a slapdash job tying up the place.
God, this is all wrong, and it's bothering me that I can't just be like, hey, let's all think back and realize, no?
Hold it!
So, you didn't try to open the storeroom door then?
Not in your life. It went deathly quiet after that, it did. Put the wind right up on me. But anyway, the door was locked, wasn't it? No way that was opening.
Well, yeah, of course, it was locked from the inside. Or so we've been led to believe.
It was, Gov, it was, from the inside. Right, so we had no way of knowing what was going on in there, did we?
Unless there was some other way to get a view of the inside of the storeroom. Like through the keyhole or a spy hole, perhaps.
Don't ring no bells, no lights, no lights. We had to cut and run before we noticed anything like that. We're still cutting our teeth in the game, see, but one day we'll really cut the mustard.
Please, cut it out.
But as we know, behind the door was the victim's lifeless body, with the accused not 2 feet away.
Well, yeah, unfortunately. Gina was in there, unconscious, with the gun in her hand.
To confirm, would it be correct to say that neither of you set foot inside the storeroom?
Well, that's right, Gov, that's right. Couldn't have even if we wanted to.
Hold it!
Well, yeah, whereupon you fired a shot from your own gun. At Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Oh, yeah, we was a bit hasty there. We was, now she was, truth be told. I was already shaking like a leaf when you lot turned up.
If you're shaking like a leaf, don't put a loaded gun in your hand.
Good advice, miss, good advice. Ain't schooled by a 10-year-old. Truth be told, me mind went totally blank.
Before your mind goes totally blank, make sure you don't have a loaded gun in your hand.
Mental domain, miss. Well, after that, we legged it down the street, but apparently we looked dodgy to the coppers or something, so they clapped the darbies on us like winking.
And after you'd been handcuffed, the police found this revolver in your possession, correct?
Well, yeah. Well, listen, that proves it, doesn't it?
Hold it!
And why should we believe that?
Eh? What? Because it's true, isn't it? The place was totally empty when we went in.
At that time, the victim was already in the storeroom, having been forced to open the door by the accused who had a gun to his head. In other words, On the night in question, these two witnesses never even laid eyes on the proprietor of the pawnbrokery, Mr. Windibank. Correct?
Oh, you got it, mister. Down to a T.
So the Skulkin brothers never actually encounter Mr. Windibank? Is that really true, I wonder? It's not. Everything's wrong, but I don't know which evidence to give. Like, for instance, they're describing it as, hey, give me that gun, and the person goes boom and shoots and they die. However, the bullet wound's from the back, and so no one would be like, to their back to the person, oh no, give me the gun! I mean, they could, but they weren't. But also, you see, before the shooting, you can't see the eye hole thing opened up. After the shooting, you can see that the thing has been opened up. So that's also potentially something. I don't know. Present? Because he couldn't have just fired because he was, again, like I said, his back was turned. Or he was shot in the back. Where is it? Where's my autopsy report? I have so many bloody papers. I'm like, which one? This one.
Objection!
There's clearly some. Oh, no. God damn it, I'm losing so many hard things in this. What other proof do I have? I mean, I have the photo. And the crime. And that. I'm gonna go through all of them. I'm just gonna go through all of them. Alright, crime photo.
Objection!
Oh, good. I'm like, hit back! So, you're saying that on the night in question, the victim, Mr. Windibank, was wielding a gun. Is that correct? But also, they said they didn't see anything, because the door was shut. God, everything they're saying is wrong, and I hate that. I can't, so, like, everyone just think for 3 seconds. Please, they're dumb. That's it, Gov. You got the picture.
Yes, Nash, yes, no question.
Well, and yet, photographic evidence... Oh, yeah, photographic evidence over words first, huh? Obtained immediately after the incident clearly shows that Mr. Windibank was not holding any firearm of any description. Or that, too. Right? There was just so many things wrong. I was just like, no, it's all wrong.
You what? Gordon Bennett, that ain't right.
Objection!
There could be no question that the victim's revolver was used in the incident. I would remind the court that Mr. Windibank's gun was found at the scene. Not only was it identified as the murder weapon, but it was found in the accused's hand. The accused's hand.
Yeah, that multooler used the victim's own gun to fish him off. Give me that gun. Bam. Kind of thing.
Hold it!
Stay exactly where you are, right there.
Eh?
If the crime had taken place as you so colorfully described in your testimony, it would give rise to an undeniable and significant inconsistency in the final moments you just acted out.
Goodness, are you sure, counsel?
You intrigue me, my friend, but let's see some evidence to support your claim. Where's the proof that demonstrates this inconsistency in the witness's portrayal of the victim's final moments?
Okay, now the autopsy report? Since the picture doesn't show enough that it's the back.
Take that!
According to their testimony, the witnesses claim to have heard a shout of "Give me that gun," followed by a gunshot.
Indeed, with the two events happening almost simultaneously, or so we've been led to believe.
Well, yeah, that's right. Now, if that testimony is true, it would mean that at the moment of the death, the victim and his attacker would have been facing each other. However, in the autopsy report, it clearly states that the victim died instantly after being shot from behind. Huh? So, as I stated before, there is an undeniable inconsistency in your testimony, Mr. and Mr. Skulkin.
Yeah, duh.
I like how Greg Sims is standing there like, yeah, sure, whatever.
But it's a god-honest truth. It is, Nash, it is. Well, he was shot that night. The shopkeeper had a gun on. Oh my god. The shopkeeper had a gun in his hand. We saw it with our own blood and eyes.
Did I hear you just right now? You actually saw Mr. Windibank holding a gun?
Something like that when I slipped out.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've all just heard the admission by these two witnesses. And that, on the night in question, they actually saw with their own eyes the victim wielding a gun. Which will only mean that despite their testimony to the contrary, the Skulkin brothers must have encountered the victim in person.
Nash,
Yeah.
Odar. Witnesses, explain yourselves at once. Oh, the thing is, we weren't supposed to,
It would seem that my previous warning fell on deaf ears. I made it quite clear that false witness would be the death of you.
Reaper's gonna murder them. Am I to understand that you replaced the untruths of your original testimony with renewed lies?
Ever so sorry, Governor. Truth is, see, we, cut it out, Nash, cut it out. If you blab now, you know what it'll do to us?
He? Who are they talking about?
Let me make your position here perfectly clear. You will talk. There's no other option available to you. Bruv, come on. The game's up. But I'll have our guts for garters.
In case it isn't quite sunk in yet. No matter how hard you try to hide it, the truth will come out.
On the night in question, it is now apparent that you brothers met face to face with the victim. I demand that you testify again to explain the precise circumstances under which this meeting took place.
Well,
do we have to?
On the pain of death, I suggest you make yourselves fully aware that this is your very last chance to tell the truth.
Encounter with the victim.
Alright, so we just got inside the gaff and heaved a sigh of relief when the old geezer showed his mug. Give me that gun, he bellowed, and he flew at us like he was possessed. I thought we'd had it. For an old geezer, the bloke was strong as an ox. It chucked me over the counter. He pulled me gun on him, and then legged it through that door into the back room. We never had nothing to do with killing him. That's all what happened, I swear.
Wait. Did you say they took your gun? But then you would have two guns. No. None of this makes sense.
So you're telling us now that the moments before the victim was killed in the storeroom, you in fact encountered him in the main part of the shop?
Well, yeah, sorry.
Well, we find ourselves in an interesting juncture. This changes matters considerably.
But be honest, Governor, this time, Nash, this time, we ain't got nothing more to hide.
Very well then, counsel for the defense, you may try a cross-examination again to prove they're liars.
Sure, my lord. This is it. The moment I've been waiting for. Encounter with the victim.
Hold it!
When you say geezer, I presume you mean the victim and proprietor of the shop, Mr. Windibank.
Oh, sorry. I mean, that's right. We was keeping a close eye on the entrance of the gaff, obviously. But we never thought no one was going to come out of the back room like that.
The back room being the pawnbrokery storeroom?
Well, yeah, that must have been where he popped out from. Only place it could have been. So, it would seem the victim was already in the storeroom when these brothers entered the premises.
Which means Ginny must have been in there at that point as well. But that doesn't make sense, does it? If Gina had threatened Mr. Windibank into the storeroom with her at gunpoint, then why would he have emerged from the same room all alone when the brothers arrived?
Oh, I don't know.
Did you see the accused at the time?
What? The mole toller? Couldn't tell ya.
No way, Copper. We had bigger fish by then. I mean, the old geezer just lost it. Gave him that gun he bellowed and flew at us like he was possessed.
Hold it!
You mentioned that Mr. Windibank shouted those words in your previous statement too. However, you claim that you heard him yelling them on the other side of the storeroom door.
Well, did we?
But the truth is, he was shouting those words at you, wasn't he?
Well, yeah. Was the victim, Mr. Windibank, wielding a gun at the time?
Was the other blimey lummy? A great ugly barrel I pointed straight at me frontispiece.
So what you're saying is, you definitely saw Mr. Windibank with the gun at that time, is that right?
It is, Gov, it is, spot on. And then all of a sudden it came at us, he did. It was bedlam. I didn't know who was going below.
You were clearly all going for each other.
Well, like Nash said, we thought we had it. I mean...
Hold it!
Well, yeah, I know that you mentioned the counter in your previous testimony, too.
Oh, yeah, of course we did. And knocked over a lot of books, a candlestick, and some skull whatnot. I got tangled with some marionette when knocked over a picture frame when knocked them scales on the floor.
So in fact, it wasn't the sound of the gunshot that shocked you and made you knock those things off the counter?
Well, Big Brother went flying over that counter like a gunshot, I can tell ya. Then the old geezer pinned him. It did, Nash, it did. If he hadn't been there, the bloke would have flattened me like a bloomin' pancake in seconds.
At the time in question, the alarm was raised at the local police station via a secret cable from the pawnbrokery. There's a button under the counter we used to activate it, which was presumably pressed by the victim.
Oh, that's right, when the brothers fled the scene and back into the street. They ran straight into the arriving police, didn't they?
Poor Mr. Windibank, he did everything he could to protect his shop.
Okay, but then that leads also another question of, if Gina was threatening him with a gun earlier, he would have hit the button then? At the half an hour? Again, everything's wrong, so I don't know what evidence to present to anything. We'll just keep pressing.
Hold it!
Were you intending to shoot Mr. Windibank?
No, never. I was just, you know... looking out for me bruv, weren't I? It was being flattened, don't forget.
Why, a man whose shop was being burgled, yeah.
And then, the man fled into the storeroom when you pointed your gun at him. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. It shoved me away and ran for the door and shoved himself in.
That sounds like a lie. There's something about this, Mark. Something that doesn't quite ring true.
I wonder if Mr. Windibank ran away into the storeroom.
Huh?
Well, according to what everyone's saying, Jeannie was in there waiting for him with a gun.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Gina allegedly used Mr. Windibank's gun to threaten him and force him to open the door into the storeroom. In which case, how did the gun end up in Mr. Windibank's hands again?
I have no idea, but that is strange, isn't it?
Yeah, it seems I should make a mental note of it.
Look, the point is me bruv here. Oh, that's right, Nash, that's right. Me and me bruv here.
Hold it!
You say you had nothing to do with it.
Nothing at all. Nothing, Gov, nothing. The old geezer went in and shut himself in the back room, didn't he? Locked to us from the inside. We know it was because we tried to open it, and they said they didn't last time. But it's a decent door that one good and strong. Wouldn't budge. Excuse me.
So in the end, the situation remains unchanged.
Huh?
Inside the storeroom with the pawnbroker, there was only one other person. The sole person who could have possibly shot the victim, the accused, Miss Gina Lestrade.
No.
It would indeed appear so. What say to you that, counsel?
I don't know. Was there anyone else apart from Gina who could have possibly shot Mr. Windibank? There could have been. Mr. Skulkin.
Eh? What? What does that look for?
From the moment you admitted that you'd encountered the victim face to face that night, the course of this trial changed completely.
It did?
What is your point, my friend?
Well, the question we must answer is who could have shot Mr. Windibank? And it is the belief of the defense that the defendant is not the only possible answer at all. Someone could have stuck a gun into the little ice hole square thing.
You have my attention. In that case, let's return to this plan of premises. The victim was killed in the storeroom, which was locked from the inside. Those are the facts, so pray, what other possible answer to the question of who shot the man could there be?
Counsel, you must now provide answers to the court in respect to the 2 conundrums.
2? Twice so many chances to be right, maybe?
Indeed. Namely, from what location did the culprit shoot the victim? And furthermore, where was the victim at the time?
Okay, sure. Understood, my lord. Are you alright, Runo? No, but there's only one thing I'm sure about. If I can prove that there's a credible new alternative to what happened, it would change Gina's prospects hugely.
So now, time for some clarity. Show the court on this plan the answers to the questions posed by his lordship. If you believe someone else could have killed the victim, indicate from where the person could have fired the gun.
Right in the door handle. And present.
Take that!
The defense believes that the culprit could have shot the victim from this location here.
Okay. Oh, no. I think I should have backed up a little bit.
It answers the second question. Assuming the culprit fired from the location indicated, where was the victim at the time?
Right there.
Take that!
The defense believes the victim would have been in this position here.
Oh, your answers in fact show.
Is that your own? Oh, no. Okay, let me back him up a little bit.
No, I didn't mean he was inside the door. I meant he shot through the door. Okay, Iris, no. Hold on. He's right outside the door.
Take that!
Okay. And... like... here? Is that good enough? Because the door thing was open right
Take
here?
that!
Oh, good. Okay, fine. I'm like, come on, please. The culprit shot the victim from outside the storeroom.
Continue.
Mr. Winnebank died instantly from a bullet wound in his back. Looking at the stain of blood on the storeroom floor, it doesn't appear that the body moved after death, which tells us that he was almost certainly shot while he was in the storeroom. However, the crucial point is, where was the shooter when the fatal bullet was fired?
So, you were adamant that the shot was fired from outside the storeroom?
Well, according to the Skulkin brothers' earlier testimony.
I pulled my gun on him and then he legged it through the door in the back room.
If Mr. Winnebank ran away through the door, we have to assume that the door was open at the time.
Ah.
It was at precisely that moment when the victim was fleeing for his life that these brothers had the perfect opportunity to shoot the man in the back once he was inside the storeroom.
Yeah, good.
Dun-dun. Come to think of it, do you remember what the prosecutor said at the start of the trial?
Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner. His report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself.
Oh yeah, how tall is Gina? Poor man. Shot while he was running as fast as he could to safety. Oh, of course. He would have been leaning forward as he was running away. That too. Okay. So if the bullet was fired horizontally, it would have still entered his body in an upward trajectory. Or the short one shot him. So, the culprit isn't necessarily someone shorter than Mr. Winnebank.
I'm sure my friend can't have forgotten that the storeroom door was found closed and locked from the inside. You claim the victim was shot as he fled the room. Do you also claim his corpse was dexterous enough to turn the key in the lock?
Well, no, but Gina was inside there and maybe she locked it so she doesn't get shot too. What if someone else locked the door? Yeah, there is someone else who could have locked the storeroom door.
Is that so?
Very well then, counsel, present your hypothesis to the court. In the scenario just described, the defense's assertion is that the victim was shot from outside the storeroom. In which case, who shut and locked the storeroom door from the inside?
Gina!
Take that!
Well, obviously, the person who locked the door was the only other person inside the storeroom at the time. The defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade.
Objection!
That's absurd.
You're suggesting that the accused deliberately engineered the sealed room.
For what possible reason? She didn't want to get shot!
Such actions only serve to tie the noose around her neck.
I'm inclined to agree, I must say. Well, counsel?
No, we know! Well, yeah, that's a tricky one, that is, isn't it?
Half-baked notions have no place in my courtroom, counsel. Remember that, please.
But of course Ginny would have locked the door. It almost goes without saying, doesn't it? It does? Well, if I was Ginny in that situation, I know I would have locked the door as quickly as I could. I mean, those two burglars had just fired a gun in her direction, hadn't they? Oh yeah, obviously. Before the two brothers arrived, Miss Lestrade and Mr. Winterbank were in the storeroom together. Now I don't know what went on between them at the time, but at some point, Mr. Winterbank must have heard the intruders breaking into his shop and left the storeroom.
Intruders, eh? That's us, bruv.
If your theory is correct, that would leave the accused alone in the storeroom.
Well, yeah, it would. Then, probably only moments later, the victim fled back to the storeroom door, hoping to escape danger. Hit in the back by a bullet, Mr. Winterbank fell to the floor where he was, just inside the storeroom. And what we have to ask ourselves now is, what would the defendant have done in that moment?
I see you're going with this.
Outside the storeroom was a terrifying killer who had just murdered Mr. Winterbank. As soon as that thought struck Miss Lestrade, she slammed the door shut and locked it, in order to save her own life.
Hold it!
But I mean, we ain't the ones who done it.
We ain't, Gov, we ain't. You gotta believe us. I mean, come on, we've lied to every other testimony. We'd never shoot no one.
Objection!
You brought a bullet.
Well, it's blatantly untrue. I know for a fact that you would. Because before my own eyes, you shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes. There's only one logical conclusion here. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin, you brothers had every opportunity to have been the true perpetrators of Mr. Winterbank's murder, except again, we're now minus a gun that shot Mr. Winterbank. Yeah, good. So we had to figure out where they, if they did it, where they stashed the other gun.
Where does this leave us? You mean to say it wasn't the pickpocket who shot the pawnbroker after all? I should have known it was those three brothers.
Oh, not three.
They're like a shade as dense as the forest.
That was amazing, Bruno. All the members of the jury seem to firmly be on your side now. Well, I know, first time ever, and probably the last. Well, I think you've done it. Surely they'll get the verdict of not...
An admirable effort, my friend.
But we've also continually proved it's not Gina, which is our job. It's not our job to go find the actual true culprit, just to defend our client. Well, what is this now? He's laughing?
You find the situation amusing, Lord Van Zeeks. I found myself the defense's argument most persuasive.
I dare say. Such chicanery is the bread and butter of the street performers in your provincial eastern nation. But such blatantly malicious conjuring tricks amount to nothing more than...
What?
Than inexcusable pettifoggery? Pettifoggery.
Sure. Huh? What the heck's pettifoggery?
The hypothesis you put forward so
My god, dude. Bro.
The hypothesis that you put forward so obstinately, credibly cannot and will not stand. Because, you see, it contains a fatal flaw.
Huh? A fatal flaw?
Do you mean to tell me that you're unaware of your logic's failing?
No, I know it.
I say, Lord Venzix, might an idea to explain this ballet conjuring trick or whatever it is to the troops on the ground,
The fatal flaw in my friend's argument is really very simple to understand. With what gun did they shoot him? Assuming you're too dim-witted to know. You're not too dim-witted to count bullets.
Yeah, I know. By George, count bullets?
Oh dear. He noticed then. Huh? Is that what I'm talking about? No, even I knew.
Counsel?
Oh, yes, sir?
Tell the court how many bullets are found at the scene of the crime.
Oops. Two bullets.
Correct. Then first, that which hit the victim in the back, ending his life. The second, that which struck the detective, Mr. Sherlock Holmes' arrival on the scene.
Indeed. The defense presented pictures showing the damage caused by a second bullet early in the proceedings. The bullet which injured Mr. Sholmes appears to have passed through his body to strike the calendar.
Your lordship's understanding is correct. Furthermore, we know there are 2 firearms involved in the incident. The revolver belonging to the victim, Mr. Windibank, and a Skulkin Brothers revolver.
Wait, hold on, now I'm confused.
The evidence shows that a single bullet was fired from each gun.
Why, yes, indeed it does. A single bullet from each.
Now then, my friend.
What?
You yourself told the court that only moments ago that these 2 brothers shot Mr. Sherlock Holmes right before your eyes.
Well, yeah, I did.
Oh my goodness, I think you'll find. A single bullet was fired from the brother's gun shot Mr. Holmes, it means.
Windibank not shot by same gun, stop. Only 1 bullet, stop.
Exactly. Yes. However, it was never anything more than a diversionary trick with no hope of standing up to scrutiny.
But it still proves Gina didn't do it.
What?
Order. No, don't do the cute thing.
Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging the dregs of this hollow nectar in the public gallery.
Lord Van Zeeks!
But this court needs to open its eyes. The accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, is no ordinary little girl. Despite her young years, she can, regrettably, no longer be described as a juvenile. No, the person in this dock is far from a law-abiding citizen. She's a past riddle with criminal conduct.
But is it murder?
The truth is, the accused broke into the pawnbrokery on the night in question with a loathsome intent. As we can see beyond doubt in this print, which depicts her threatening the victim with the murder weapon. And I have here in my possession one more piece of evidence the prosecution wishes to present.
The disc! I think I need to shoot with the blood thingy. Oh yeah, that music box disc. Mr. McGilda's music box disc.
The very day before the hateful murder of Mr. Windibank, the accused attempted to make off with this article, which clearly doesn't belong to her. And with none of the subtlety of a pickpocket, I might add, but by brute force and brazen impotence.
Good gracious!
Make no mistake, any sympathy for the accused on account of her years is misguided and dangerous. There are no depths to which this young girl would not stoop if pushed, no crime she would not commit. The court forgets that fact at its peril.
I see. I think it'd be prudent to take this music box disc into evidence, counsel, as a grim testament to the...
Lord Van Zeeks, I am.
Inspector Gregson? What?
Yes, Inspector.
We had a meeting yesterday at the yard with the prosecution service, and, I think it was agreed that the disc couldn't be used as evidence.
Oh, what's this all about? Why is the inspector acting so strangely? That's the first time he said anything to Van Zeeks at all.
I am unaware of any such meeting.
But those were the instructions right from the top. The government bigwigs were insistent.
Inspector, I am the prosecutor and I alone determine how to present my case. Your warning is noted. Thank you.
The
prosecution wishes to proceed with submitting this desk as evidence, my lord.
Indeed, bailiff. Alright, so let's shoot it. Let's shoot it, and get close to ending the episode.
The prosecution has established the accused's motive, opportunity, and basis of character. There is nothing more to add. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I await your informed decisions and rest my case.
No, you guys shut up right now. Let me defend myself first.
Well, I don't believe it.
I had the jury on my side for once, for all of 5 minutes. Hold on. Where is the thing? Where is it? Give it here. That be blood. That do be blood.
Oh, Bruno, look! It's blood!
Yeah, you're right. Just a small smear, but definitely blood. Actually, I feel as though I might have noticed that before.
And it's time to shine again. I thought I'd be waiting forever. Alright, hold still the disc, Bruno.
Can we get this done quickly, Iris? In a flash. I like how the courses, or like, you know, they're all like talking and stuff like that. We're like, shh. We're shooting things.
Oh, a lovely bright shade again.
Wait, green.
Wait, that color. What is it?
Well, it's just that green. It's not the first time we've seen that color, is it? Okay. Back to the blood. Okay, so green. Is green Gina's blood? But why does Gina's blood be on the calendar? Because Gina's the one who got cut on this. Not Eggy boy, right?
Oh dear. I was here for 5 minutes, Bruno.
My lord. One of them might say something at this point. Proceed, Mr. Foreman. Been stumbling about in a bit of fog up till now, if truth be told. But all of a sudden, the answer's fully obvious to me, my man. There's only one thing for it.
Not again.
Very well, the court will hear from the jury. Ladies and gentlemen, you will now present your leanings as the defendant's culpability.
Guilty.
Just proved she's not.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Sorry. We have a consensus among the jury, it seems.
When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Hey, that's my line. I wrote that for Hurley.
How dare he use it against us?
Well, don't worry, Iris. I don't think we're finished just yet.
There's still more to this case than we realize.
There must be, because there's one thing that I'm absolutely certain of. Gina didn't shoot Mr. Windibank. That's beyond any doubt.
Very well. We will proceed with the second summation examination of the day. Mr. Foreman, are you and the other jurors ready?
Blah, 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 they're ready.
Very good. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have now determined the defendant to be guilty. Well, zero goes a rogue, I say. Different breed to us law-abiding citizens.
As only 2 bullets are found on the scene, I would say the whole case is done and dusted.
You don't need a stereoscope to see the truth, yeah? Every which way you look at it, it was that pickpocket. I never imagined that a simple operation could cause me such grief.
The accused attempted a theft the previous day. The accused attempted a theft on the previous day. I see him in for a busy day indeed.
I am ballistics expert. I have seen many shootings. There is nothing I do not know about guns. Well, that sounds helpful. Help, sir. It would seem that there is a little remaining room for doubt. I have to admit I was rather bowled over by the argument put forward by the chap in black. But when it fell apart like a house of cards, I saw that I had jolly well been hoodwinked. Well, no more.
This whole courtroom's turning against me. It's not fair. Iris, the prosecutor's being mean.
Just because Jean's done something she shouldn't have done in the past doesn't make her a murderer.
Allow me to savor this fruity vintage while I savor the spectacle of your fruitless debate on the matter. Here's the truth coming out, eventually.
Let's have preamble. Counsel proceed with the submission examination. Alright. Yeah, my lord. The defense's rebuttal. Okay, let's compress all these people as we get in the episode. Let's do this. Well, just because Miss Lestrada's history of pickpocketing, she must be guilty of murder? Is that what you're saying? Because your wife has a history of murder? Huh? Huh?
Well.
Are all members of the British Army so quick to judge?
I beg your pardon? Are you mocking Her Majesty's Armed Forces? The greatest military organization in the world?
Well, no, I'm simply illustrating my point. Making assumptions about people because they're a soldier or a pickpocket is wrong and dangerous.
Well, yes, might have a point there, I suppose. But let's not forget the girl had already shown she had it in her from before. She's clearly a criminal sort through and through. Can't deny it.
Well, you say that she had it in her. Are you referring to this?
Exactly. Tried to swipe that only a day earlier, or am I mistaken?
Well, not exactly. Given that I was actually there at the time too, it's hard to refute that. I've never actually seen the real thing. I can't wait to have a closer look at it. Well, yeah, of course. We did it already. It's the number of bullets that has you convinced? Only 2 bullets were fired, and the 2 guns that fired them have been examined by the police. When the parlor maid asks me how many are invited for dinner, I always tell her to count the table settings. Well, it's logical, I suppose. Although... Well, yeah? Sometimes after dining, crockery does go missing. 1 or 2 guests rather like the fine china. Well, does your employer dine with thieves? So I suppose. If there was another bullet somewhere of which we were unaware, I'd have to reconsider my position. A 3rd bullet somewhere on the scene? Could that be possible? Can I prove a 3rd bullet? Okay, hold on. Wait, yeah, so we have 1 bullet in Mr. Windibank, 1 bullet in the calendar, and 1 bullet in Hurley. I can prove it. Allow me to show you then, the 3rd bullet. Right? 1 in Windibank, 1 in Hurley, 1 in calendar. I'm not wrong, right? They're not gonna like... I only have 2 hearts left.
Take that!
God damn it, Ryunosuke!
Hold it!
Wait! Sergeant! Is the... No! Ryunosuke, go on to butter. If the bullet was in Hurley, that means the bullet didn't go through Hurley and into the thing. Into the calendar. Would you please stop muttering about things that have nothing to do with this trial, sir? But please, keep muttering!
Well, the thing is, I couldn't really say it. It's nothing to do with this trial, to be honest.
Huh?
I mean, there's no question that the man who was shot, but the bullet had simply vanished from his stomach. It's quite inexplicable, don't you think?
I also want to ask, but this surgery you've been muttering about all this time, you were operating on...
What was the fellow's name now? Ehrlich? No. Erlock?
Yeah, but...
Herlock?
Herlock Sholmes by any chance?
Oh yes, good lord! It was that Herlock fellow!
Huh? You're the surgeon that operated on Mr. Sholmes?
That's right. Using the very latest anesthesia techniques, I might add. It was a fairly major op, I can tell you.
Well, this is crazy.
Let me see, the fellow was brought in not long after midnight, if I remember correctly. They said he'd been shot by some criminal or other, so I opened him up like a shot. But the funny thing is, I went over his insides with a fine-tooth comb, and I couldn't find the bullet anywhere. So I'm afraid I had to throw up my hands and just stitch the fellow back up.
What? You need to state the obvious, but...
Yes?
Surely that's because the bullet still at the scene of the shooting.
The counsel for the defense is correct. It is clearly shown as photographic print. The bullet that the Skulkin brothers fired at Mr. Sholmes hit him in the stomach region. No, that's wrong.
No, it's wrong.
Then exited his body and lodged into the shop wall where the calendar was hanging by the wall. I think you'd find it really quite simple if you just consider the problem three-dimensionally. Who do you think I am, son?
Well, juror number 4 is about the best I can do.
As soon as I saw the wounds in my stomach, I flipped him over.
Like a pancake? Are you saying that you checked his back?
Of course I did, and there wasn't a trace of injury. No sign that the bullet had left the body at all.
Wait, what?
That's the point. The logical conclusion was that the bullet was still somewhere inside the man's innards. Which is exactly why I said about slicing him up. And I'm still none the wiser even now. How many times do I have to say it? Can someone please explain how it happened? Can somebody please solve the mystery?
It's almost as much of a mystery as how this jury was put together. Okay, so ballistics, I need you to fix this thing. No.
Hold it!
Well, I thought you were just a tourist.
Good day, I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please.
There's no way he's just a visiting tourist. So you're a ballistics expert? Who knew?
I have much experience with guns. I have lived through many, how do you say, extreme violent battle, no, blood of them.
Ah, extreme violent bloodbaths, perhaps.
Those. Extreme violent bloodbaths. English is very difficult tongue.
Considering the sort of people you associate with, surprised you still have a tongue.
Anyway, if you have questions about bullets and guns, you ask me. There's nothing I do not know. No mystery I cannot solve.
Yup. But if possible, please, only in Russian language. Well, he's not very confident in his knowledge of English, though, is he? Well, no, but still, we should bear it in mind. He's our man if there's any mystery about guns or bullets.
Okay, so we're gonna pit that with ballistics.
Objection!
These two statements, and they don't contradict each other, but I just wanted them to answer each other's questions.
Oh, ballistics experts!
Pit. On the night in question, Mr. Sholmes was shot by one of the Skulkin brothers. But since there was no sign of an exit wound in his back, we must assume the bullet didn't pass through him. However, no bullet was found lodged in Mr. Sholmes' body either. Furthermore, a bullet was found lodged in the wall of the shop where Mr. Sholmes was shot. Juror number 6.
Hello, my name is Villain. Pleased to meet you.
This is apparent contradiction in the fact size so clearly troubling juror number 4. Are you able to explain the mystery?
I have seen a very similar situation in Motherland.
Huh?
It was night. There was blizzard. I was running away along Mountain Road in freezing cold. Golly! The snow was piling high on both sides of the road. It was very narrow and dangerous. My pursuers had hunting rifles, and they were on dog sleds.
Okay, don't ask so many questions.
I was shot from behind, and I fell down in snow. And the situation was very similar to what I hear today from Doctor. They could not find bullets in my body, and no sign of, how do you say, exit wound. Then, where did the bullet go? Bullet never hit me.
What?
Well, if it never hit you, why'd you fall down? Bullet hit frozen wall of ice very close to my side.
Huh?
One small piece, very sharp, broke away from a lump of ice and pierced my body. It made deep wound that looks like bullet wound. Good gracious! Of course, piece of ice quickly melted inside of me, and that is the solution of mystery of disappearing bullets.
Huh? Huh?
But that doesn't answer the question at all.
Huh?
The shooting that happened in the pawnbroker shop. Not some snowy mountain road in another country.
Just an idea. We might not be looking at exactly the same scenario here. Bruno, where exactly was Hurley shot again? Well, according to the report, in his stomach. Sort of around the area, I think? Well, that's precisely where he always wears a little pouch on his belt. A pouch? I might have known something like that. Yeah, a pouch. It's where he keeps his 3 glass vials of very dangerous chemicals he uses in his investigations. Wait, what? Doctor! Doctor! Where is the pouch Mr. Sholmes was wearing?
Well, the fellow had nothing like that on his person when he arrived at the hospital as far as I remember. If I may.
Lord Van Zeeks?
Well, I realize it's forbidden for the prosecution to interject during the summation examination. I should inform the defense that I have the pouch in question in the antechamber outside the courtroom.
Huh?
As I understand it, when the police arrived on the scene, I found Mr. Sholmes injured. They removed the pouch in order to assess the wound.
Ah, thank goodness. I thought I was getting forgetful in a moment.
Since then, it's been in my safekeeping along with all the other evidence relating to the case. I can personally vouch for the fact that it has not been touched since the incident occurred.
Very well. While extremely unconventional during any summation examination, I must demand the prosecution presents the item in question with all speed.
Bring forth the pouch!
I see.
One's broken.
So this is the pouch worn by Mr. Sholmes the night of the question, is it?
Well, look at that. One of the files is broken and leather around it is scorched black. It's almost as if the file exploded.
Exploded?
So, that night, a bullet from the Skulkin brothers' gun struck Mr. Sholmes' pouch?
And it was the glass vial exploding that caused the fellow's injury. This bullet did not penetrate victim. It was deflected into Wallow's shop.
Does that help me?
A delightful complex aroma.
Well, it would appear at least one mystery has been solved at least.
There was no bearing on the truth of this case. The bungling and the burgling brothers shot the detective, and the accused shot the pawnbroker. The pertinent facts of this case remain unaltered.
Well,
but at least the mystery is solved. I can sleep easy tonight. Thank you, young man.
but didn't you sew a scalpel into him?
Thank you very much.
Well, glad I could help.
Due to its bearing the conundrum to solve, the court will now sequester the scruffy pouch's evidence.
Are these pouches in scruffy?
Let's go examine it too.
Okay, is it in here? Hey, look at that bullet. I found a bullet! Oh look, it's broken. This would be the bullet hit. Let me see. Oh, we opened it. Neat. What the? Iris, look! Behind where the broken file was. Do you see it? That is a Skulkin Brothers bullet. What struck a lock that hit his pouch? It's an amazing discovery. What this means is there were 3 bullets fired at Window Binks that night. We found what the juror was talking about, a 3rd bullet. Let's go press her again. Okay, so see, I was on the right idea, I just didn't have the right evidence. But I got better, magical evidence. Wait, please, my lord. A little more time. After all, that's a new piece of evidence. It could be a valuable clue. And you can't afford to overlook anything here, Ryunosuke. We're turning this around somehow, I'm sure of it. Let's press the heck out of you. I can prove it. Oh, let me show you then, the 3rd bullet. It's my evidence, the 3rd bullet.
Take that!
Here it is. We discovered it just now. Yeah, on the night in question, Mr. Winterbank's pawnbrokery, another bullet was fired.
What is this new trickery? You? Where'd you find that bullet?
It was lodged inside Mr. Sholmes' pouch.
What?
This pouch was removed from around Mr. Sholmes' waist just before he was taken to the hospital. And since then, it's been touched by no one.
Dude, do you mean to say the shot fired by the Skulkin brothers that night?
Yeah, as your lordship has surmised. It hit this pouch.
But that makes no sense whatsoever. You already know the whereabouts of the bullet fired at Mr. Sholmes. It is clearly visible in this photographic print. Ah!
Well, so 2 guns from the scene have already been submitted to the court record as evidence.
Yes, that was that of Mr. Winnebank, and that belonging to the Skulkin brothers.
And the examination of both guns revealed that only a single bullet had been fired from each.
But that was mean!
That's right. We now know on the night in question 3 bullets were fired. However, only 2 bullets were fired from the guns recovered from the crime scene. And until that inconsistency is somehow explained, we cannot and must not pass judgment. We wound him.
Order, order, order. While the summation examination remains incomplete, the court has been presented with new facts. Facts that would appear to shake the very foundations upon which this case against the defendant has been built. As is my prerogative in this situation, I hereby temporarily suspend the summation examination. By Jupiter!
Huh?
Bailiff, bring the witnesses back to the stand at once.
We're definitely gonna investigate those liars again next episode. Oh my god, this is taking... You jerk butts. Not you, Gregson. Maybe you, Gregson. You're hiding something.
Witnesses? Governor! We're listening to the proceedings while the defense carried out the summation examination.
We was, Governor, we was. Perhaps you can dispense with the tedious preamble. Simply answer one question. A 3rd bullet had been identified at the scene of the crime. What do you make of that?
Make a big of. We don't make enough of them if we can help it,
Is it one of yours?
Good blimey, not a chance.
In that case, did you have an accomplice?
What? Hey, what? No, the Skulkin brothers work alone. Just the 2 of us, that's our trademark.
How sweet, forget poor Sulky. Only 2 of the bullets from the crime scene originate from the firearms we have in evidence. The 3rd bullet was fired from another gun. Where is it?
Oh, well, that or an head scratcher. Counsel for the defense.
Yeah?
I should like to hear your thoughts regarding these new developments. The 3rd bullet and the mysterious missing firearm from whence it came.
Okay, well, thinking back over the testimony we've heard and all the evidence we've seen, I think I'm starting to form a picture of what really happened that night.
Oh, wait, no.
Crap! I have 1 life left and I don't know. Okay, so that's your accomplice. I doubt they had another gun. Nothing to do with them? Well, I believe there's nothing to do with them.
Eh? No, shit. That's right. Yeah, nothing to do with this, Gov.
We've established that 1 bullet was fired from each of the 2 guns already known to the court. The logical conclusion, therefore, is that on the night in question at Mr. Windebank's pawnbrokery, there was another person present in possession of a 3rd firearm. It was me! Well, the brothers may have nothing to do with the 3rd gun or the bullet fired from it. It's inconceivable that they had nothing to do with the 3rd man. Well, yeah, the brothers are working with an accomplice. An accomplice who's carrying a gun. I didn't say accomplice, though, did I? An accomplice, you say? Pigs will. But I didn't hit accomplice. These protracted proceedings have already focused us to endure 2 summation examinations. Yet in all that time, there's not been a murmur of a 3rd man. It is apparent wraith-like being exists. The court must be shown hard evidence. Without it, the fantasy will be crushed. Huh? The prosecution demands answers on 2 counts. Firstly, proof, evidence, that this accomplice was ever at the scene of the crime. And secondly, the identity of the spurious character. The Skulkins are lying, I know that. But how can I ascertain the identity of the person they're hiding?
Well, counsel?
I'm supposed to prove the existence of this accomplice? And reveal the person's identity, even... Well, in response to the persecution's demands, my lord, the defense is... Okay, so I know those blood stains, and I know Benedict, whatever his heck name is a thing. Okay, so we're gonna go with mysterious blood, right? The defense is ready.
I believe I can provide all the answers the prosecution demands. So, my friend, despite the swimming eyes, you seem to think you have something to say. This promises to be interesting, and I've got to not get this wrong. I'll have to push forward now. There's no other option. I can use every single piece of evidence available to me if it'll make a difference.
In that case, counsel, I would ask you to present the evidence without delay. On the night in question, in the moments leading up to the death of the victim, what proof have you that there was a third intruder present at the scene?
Well, I have this blood. Please take it as evidence. Because it's green.
Take that!
The evidence is right here, in this portfolio.
By Jove, that portfolio again, is it?
Do you expect the court to rifle through your papers itself? Be more specific. You claim one of those blood samples proves the presence of this third intruder. Which one is it?
The green one.
Okay, well, we know you're blue. Mason's purple. Mystery Man is green.
What am I looking at here? There appears to be some sort of green paint or such like around the bullet hole in the middle of the calendar.
That's a bloodstain, my lord.
A bloodstain?
Green blood. Curious even for you. Is the court to understand the intruder was some unhuman creature?
Well, it's something developed by Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
By the great detective!
New invention. Stop. Not yet appear in stories. Stop.
It's this, you see? It doesn't have a name yet, though.
Man, no one's gonna believe this in court. This would not hold up.
This fogger sprays a chemical that reacts to the different elements in people's blood to change its color.
Different elements of people's blood?
Mm-hmm. Everyone's blood is slightly different, you see. Well, relatively. Because it's made up of different elements. So by seeing what color it changes to, you can tell in a flash whose blood it is.
Oh, that brings a whole extra dimension to looking at blood.
Talk of blood in courtroom. Stop. Very exciting. Stop. As an example, this one shows the blood of the victim, Mr. Windibank.
Ah, striking blue.
Yeah, so you see, the green color of this bloodstain on the calendar shows that somebody else was shot in the main part of the shop.
Now hold fire there, young man. Could it be from some unrelated incident, couldn't it?
No, it's not unrelated. By the date showing on the calendar, it's the date on which Mr. Windibank was killed.
By golly.
Well, therefore, we can assume that whoever was shot on the same day.
Then whose blood is it?
Well, the Smokin brothers in the stand don't appear to be suffering from any gunshot injuries. Which means it must be the blood of somebody else. Oh, wait, so Gina wasn't cut. It was actually, what's-his-face was cut. Got it.
Whose identity is, of course, the waiting to hear. You can't delay us any longer, my friend.
Who is this alleged third intruder? Okay, so now it's his, so it was his blood. Got it.
Take that!
I noticed one of the two got cut. The man's name is Edgar Benedict.
Edgar Benedict? Who on earth are you talking about, counsel?
He paid a visit to Mr. Windibank's pawnbrokery on the afternoon before the incident took place.
When the accused attempted to deceive the pawnbroker into releasing this article into her possession.
Well, yeah, that's right. The man identified by the defense, Mr. Edgar Benedict, then attempted to take the article from the defendant by force. Inspector Gregson was there at the time, and I can attest to what happened. In the end, it was the inspector himself who took the disc.
Can you corroborate this account, Inspector?
Well, yes, my lord. That's more or less what happened. And in the interest of being thorough, I asked Mr. Windibank for a print showing the fella. Take it from one of his red-handed recorder gubbinses.
Well, yeah, that's him talking to Mr. Windibank that morning. Oh, did I look for something else that's different?
And you claim this man is the brother's accomplice.
Well, Mr. and Mr. Skulkin?
Never seen the goods before in my life. I'm a left cuff on my life, never seen him.
Well, somehow unsurprisingly, it appears our witnesses disagree with the assertion.
I'm sure your lordship recalls my learned friend's actual assertion, which was that he could prove the identity of the alleged accomplice.
Well, yeah, and I can.
Then show us the evidence. I agree. We must see proof that the clean-cut gentleman in the photograph is the filthy criminal you say he is.
This is the last piece of evidence. I've had a feeling that something has been missing in this trial from the very start. But now I'm going to drag it kicking and screaming into the courtroom.
Are you ready to present your answer to the court then, counsel?
Yes, my lord. The defense will present the evidence now.
Wait, proof in this print? Oh, okay. I thought I meant like... Wait, do I do my thing again, or do I do... Okay, so I do this again, right? Not the thing. Okay, hold on.
Take that!
The proof is right here, in this portfolio.
Good gracious, counsel. Does that portfolio contain the answers to every question posed?
I see you share my interest in claret-colored liquids, my friend, but... Enough. The court demands to see further evidence. Which blood sample proves the man you identified was the one shot by the third bullet at the scene of the crime?
It's the green thing.
Take that!
Well, as I mentioned before, on the afternoon of the day in question, the defendant attempted deceitfully, admittedly, to reclaim this disc from Mr. Windibanks.
Which is when the aforementioned Egbert Benedict appeared on the scene, I believe. This man then attempted to purloin the article from the defendant's possession, no?
Well, yeah, that's correct, my lord. I myself was present at the time. It was following this that a minor incident occurred. Being a music box disc, it has countless small but sharp metal protrusions over its surface. Those protrusions caused Mr. Benedict's finger to bleed. And the resulting smear of blood is still visible on the disc now.
Goodness, a blood stain is it?
My assistant and I have just analyzed the bloodstain here in this very courtroom. Using my trusty Fogger gun. And we added the results to this portfolio.
I say, it's green! It's exactly the same color as the blood around the calendar.
The evidence is conclusive. The man calling himself Mr. Egbert Benedict, who was in Mr. Windibanks earlier that day, is the accomplice who was present at the scene of the crime that same night.
So there was someone else. Look at those two brothers now. They're sweating buckets. Boy, who are you talking about? It's Woolen in here.
My lord, it's the opinion of the defense that Mr. Egbert Benedict should be summoned to the courtroom to testify.
It was certainly seen that we can ill afford to ignore this gentleman's apparent
Objection!
This has gone on long enough now. This flagrant ignorance of the mechanics of the law.
Huh?
Herlock Sholmes, you say? Yes, I've heard the name. The protagonist of a series of short stories for the vulgar classes. A god of detection or some such.
Huh?
And now you employ chemical substances devised by this fantastical persona in the highest courts of the land.
Yeah, no, like, I want it from my end because it helps me out, but I know this wouldn't hold up in court. But neither were these testimony of the criminals.
Do you expect us to take you so seriously? The samples made by this plaything are not fit to be called evidence. So the bloodstain turned some shade of green. What of it? Here's successfully proving that no other blood in the world could turn the same color.
Well,
I love the leg thing too. And pray, do you even think of suggesting that we should take Mr. Sholmes' word for it?
huh?
Is he right? Is Mr. Sholmes' concoction a load of rubbish? I don't know. He is a great detective. What are you talking about? We can't let him get away with that.
I knew it would come to this. Of course Mr. Sholmes' invention is going to be recognized by any official body. But what other choice did I have? I'm just remembering what Father Christmas over there said before. About how he was temporarily suspending the summation examination. Huh? In other words, the examination isn't over yet, is it?
Oh my gosh, I have to end the episode, you guys. Good grief, what did you just say, young girl?
And a summation examination decision as to whether or not the trial continues is in the hands of the 6 jurors, isn't it? So the way I see it, it doesn't matter what certain other people think of Hurley's invention. At least, not for now. Well, yeah, she's right.
Young lady, you have quite the devious mind.
It really just comes down to one thing. Whether these ladies and gentlemen of the jury are convinced by what you say, Bruno. Isn't that about right, would you say? Or did I misunderstand something? Because I'm only 10 years old. Ha ha ha. Unbelievable. These are Trump's partners, a force to be reckoned with. Iris Wilson, sharpshooter.
After the shrewd presses of a situation from an entirely unexpected source, it must be acknowledged that the previous summation examination is yet to reach its conclusion.
This is absurd.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court now looks to you for your final leanings in this matter. As proud citizens of Her Majesty's Britain, I'm sure you will come to a fair and just conclusion. Well, we know he's on our side.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Guilty.
Old man!
Guilty.
Lady!
Not guilty.
God, this old man hates me.
Two called guilty, four called not guilty.
Such is the outcome of the summation examination.
My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage.
The prosecution refuses to accept this decision. On what grounds?
If these jurors are persuaded by some half-baked concoction devised by a pretender to real police work, then they are too ignorant to be trusted with the judgment of anyone's guilt.
I'm sorry, Lord Van Zieks, but the outcome of the summation examination cannot be ignored. This trial will continue. Yes. Gugh. Nevertheless, we find ourselves in a rather awkward situation. The defense has very reasonably requested a subpoena of a new witness. But sadly, I fear that it will be impossible.
Huh?
The name of the gentleman gave for himself, Edgar Benedict, is quite clearly false.
Well, I don't believe it. Just when I managed to prove the man was there that night.
Could I say something?
Who was that, please? Who spoke?
It was me, my lord.
Juror number 5? What have you to say, madam?
If possible. Inspector.
Me? Ma'am?
I wonder if you might show the photographic print to me again. The one in which the gentleman is shown.
Oh, right, yes. This one you mean? Mr. Benedict?
Yes. There's no doubt in my mind.
Juror number 5, you don't mean to say. You know this man?
Yes, I know him.
Huh?
No. Good gracious. You mean this entire court is rigged? Who knew? Order. Juror number 5, how on earth?
I'm a communications officer.
As we can clearly see.
Gentleman, the photograph is. Stop. Also, communications officer, stop. He works in my office, stop. A very talented operator, in fact, stop. He should be in the communication station now, stop. Tapping away on the telegraph, stop.
This doesn't seem right somehow. I can't put my finger on why, but it doesn't feel right. I suppose we all imagine the accomplice would be some sort of hardened criminal. It's a bit unexpected to find out that he's a respectable job by day, whatever he gets up to at night. Well, yeah, I suppose that's it. Is that why I feel something's wrong?
If the gentleman is at London's communication station, we should be able to subpoena him within the hour. Lord Van Zieks, if you would please.
Yes, my lord.
Make the necessary arrangements with all haste.
As your lordship bids.
The court will recess for 1 hour. When the new witness arrives, we shall reconvene to hear the gentleman's testimony. Inspector Gregson?
Yes, my lord.
I should like to hear from you specifically about the events at the pawnbrokery in the day in question. Come to my chambers during recess. Yes, sir, my lord. Very well. Court is adjourned till 1:40 p.m. And that should conclude this episode. Went on for a long time here. But yay, we're getting somewhere, but also we still need the big picture, so.
See you guys all next time. Laters.